Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. As many of you will know, it's been a big few weeks for me. I've moved house, moved out of my tiny little music room that I used to do all my videos in, and moved into a different room that I've shown a few times now on live streams and All Things Must Pass videos. But I said that I was going to do a full room tour, so I'm going to head upstairs now and I'm going to show you everything that I've got set up in there. So in we go. You'll see behind me, that's the view that you've seen on the last few videos that I've got there, my back wall. On the side wall here, the first thing that you see through the door is my Paul McCartney framed stamp collection. That's what came out from the Royal Mail a couple of months ago. Real nice collection. I deliberately bought it as I knew I was moving into this house and I knew that I needed something to put on the wall. So I really like that. Behind me here, I've put some guitars up on the wall, just A, because it looks nice, and B, because it means I've got much easier access to them if I want to play them. So first of all, I have got my ukulele. That's an Ashbury ukulele, and the story of how I started playing ukulele is a little bit unusual. It was several years ago now, and something I don't think I've ever mentioned before, but I used to do panto every year. And one particular year, the panto, my character was a music doctor. And he had this passage to read, and it was just sort of text in a script. And I said, look, this would work a lot better if it was a song. You know, he's a music doctor. How about, and I had a thought, how about I buy a ukulele, I'll learn to play it, and I'll write a song around these words. So that's how I ended up coming to buy that ukulele. It was so that I could learn it to play a song in the panto that I was in. I've then got my Epiphone Dot. This is my main gigging guitar. I've had this probably about 12 years now, and generally speaking, if I'm gigging, that is the guitar that I use. Unless I break a string or I've got some other detuned guitar ready for some other song that I need to do in a different tuning. But that guitar just suits me perfectly. The weight of it and the feel of it is just right for me. And then I've got my acoustic guitar here. Again, I got this several years ago now. Real nice sound to it. I've had to put that over there because the sound from the speakers was just causing it to reverberate a lot. So I thought, put that over there, and that just stops it from adding reverb to the room that I don't want when I'm listening. So, as you'll have seen already on my videos, the CD racks that I always had behind me in my old room, I've got 2 of those set up in the corner. Now, I did have 4 in the old room, but unfortunately one of them just completely fell apart while I was moving. And the other one, well, I just felt it was time to replace it with something a bit newer. So we'll come on to what I replaced it with in a bit. But you see that I've got the 2 CD racks here. So first of all, up in this top right-hand corner, I've got some of my sort of Beatles related box sets, the John Lennon Ultimate Mixers, Imagine Plastic Ono Band. We've got the White Album, there's Beach Boys' Pet Sounds there, and then various other Beatles bits and pieces. Got the fantastic Beatles Tune-In book by Mark Lewison, still the best book that's ever been written about the Beatles in my opinion. Some of the Bob Dylan bootleg series, big deluxe boxes, hopefully getting some more of those soon. Keep tuned. And then we've got sort of DVDs, Blu-rays, music related really. So there's lots of Beatles, McCartney, Lennon, Oasis, Brian Wilson, Bob Dylan, that kind of thing there. And then underneath that I've got my jazz section. So there's a lot of Miles Davis and John Coltrane, Dave Brubeck, all sorts of bits and pieces down there. And then just sort of general CDs down at the bottom. Moving over to the other side, over in this top left-hand corner. So I've got up at the top there, there's my trusty old yellow submarine that I built a few years ago, and I got that as a Christmas present. And next to it's a John and Yoko Mama I Don't Want to Be a Soldier cup, which I bought that in Liverpool from the, it was John and Yoko exhibition that's down, well it was down sort of 2 or 3 years ago, near the Albert Dock, and I bought that when I went to visit that. So I've got some John Lennon box sets there, and I kind of wanted to have things that were sort of visually a little bit interesting on display rather than just rows and rows of normal CDs. So we've got things like Dylan box sets, Simon and Garfunkel, Kate Bush, Beach Boys, and then we've got some we've got the Police, Springsteen, Led Zeppelin, the Omen trilogy soundtracks, which I absolutely love. And then there's all my Bob Dylan bootleg series there, Blur boxes and all that kind of thing. And then it's just kind of general CDs all the way down to the bottom, really. I've then got up at the top here, you'll have seen these shelves behind me when I do my videos. They're just a couple of sort of floating shelves from IKEA that I bought, and so I can really just sort of chop and change what I have on display there whenever I want, really. So they're pretty good. And down here, down at the bottom, is my Kallax units. Again, they're from IKEA. These are IKEA Kallax. I already had one of them in my old room and I bought a second one. But you can have these horizontal or vertical. Now got them horizontal. And it means that I'm able to sort of have all my vinyl on display here. So you'll see, first of all, in the top left, I've got a lot of my box set vinyl here. So there's there's Sgt. Pepper by the Beatles. There's the White Album and Isha demos there. Various other things, Abbey Road, Small Faces, Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, one of my favourite albums, Red Hot Chili Peppers, there's a Kate Bush box set, and the new George Harrison All Things Must Pass splatter vinyl I keep in there as well. Moving along, and this is all kind of, first of all, it's my Beatles related, sort of just normal vinyl now. So there's a few Beatles there, but then there's a lot of Paul McCartney in that section, you'll see as we go along. Now next up, in the next shelf, this is just this is there temporarily at the moment. I've just tidied this up out of the way for this video. I'm not going to say too much about this, but it is a little bit of a clue as to a video that I'm about to record, and this is the stuff that I'd got out and ready to record that video. So little clue as to what's coming. And then moving across, just the last little bit of McCartney. You'll see there's a few McCartney 3s and 3 Imagines there. And then there's a bit of John Lennon, Travelling Wilburys, that kind of thing, vinyl on there. And then down on the bottom row, get down on the floor for this one. So this is just sort of kind of alphabetical order general vinyl. So just sort of reading out some key points there as we go across. There's Arctic Monkeys, there's Blur, there's Clapton, there's a few Bowie there, Kate Bush, Daft Punk, Nick Drake, Bob Dylan, Fleet Foxes, various bits and pieces there of just kind of general vinyl. And then next to that, two of the absolute sort of pride and joys of my collection, the fantastic George Harrison vinyl box set that came out a few years ago. I was really lucky to get that at a price that it suddenly sort of came down in price before the prices just shot up, and I managed to get in just before that happened, which is the same thing as the Beatles in mono, which is, you know, is that the best box set of all time? It might well be. And again, I was really lucky. As far as I know on that, I got the last one in the UK on Amazon Prime at a normal price before it just went absolutely crazy. So I was really lucky to get that before it just went silly, and I might never have got a copy. Moving along then, it's just sort of carrying on the alphabetical general vinyl there. So what have we got in here? We've got things like Human League, Kraftwerk, Led Zeppelin, Liam Gallagher, Pink Floyd, Queen, Public Service Broadcasting, they're a great band, Radiohead, Simon and Garfunkel, and then moving across into the last section, we've got some U2, and then jazz. So I've got a few bits of jazz albums on vinyl. So there's some Coltrane, Miles Davis, Oscar Peterson, Dave Brubeck, that kind of thing. So that's my vinyl setup there. I think probably next, let's take a look at my actual hi-fi system. So first of all, we've got my turntable, which is a Riga P3. Now, I upgraded to this. I actually got this on the same day that McCartney 3 came out, so it was kind of just before Christmas last year. I upgraded from the P1, and that's a really good, for the price, it's a really good turntable, and got a good cartridge update on it as well. For my digital, now this is pretty different setup in here to what I had in my previous room. I used to run everything from my computer direct into my DAC and my amp, but my computer's not in this room now, so I've put all my music collection onto a network drive, a NAS drive, which is downstairs, and then that's all wired in to this streamer that I treated myself to a few weeks ago. This is a Blue Sound Node 2021 version, and this just basically takes the files from the streamer from the server, sorry, downstairs. Control it all on an app that's on my phone, it's on my tablet, etc. And that's really great for listening to digital on here. That sends the information to my DAC, which is a Roxanne DAC. We'll see that in a moment. The turntable is powered by a Riga Neo PSU, so rather than the sort of internal motor, I've got a separate power supply for that that's supposed to be sort of much better at holding a regular 33 1/3 or a 45 RPM, and it means you can just switch between the two speeds without having to take the platter off and alter the band underneath, which is an absolute pain. So I've then got my amp. This is a Marantz PM6006 UK edition, which I got maybe about 3 years ago. Really nice amp, I really like that. And underneath it is the DAC. Like I said, it's a Roxanne K3 DAC that takes the feed from the streamer. So I'm pretty pleased with that setup. It then feeds everything onto my speakers. So my speakers are Monitor Audio Bronze 2 speakers. You'll see there that the grill comes off if you want to have that particular view. And then I've got these new speaker stands when I moved in here, because in my old room these speakers were just connected to the wall. So I've now got them on proper stands, and these are Atacama Maseko 7 stands. So they're really nice, and the speakers just sit on top of those stands. So that's this side of the room. We are now going to switch round and look at the other side of the room that you don't get to see so often. So I treated myself to a brand new chair in here, and it is a recliner. So when I'm sitting listening to music, I can just sit in my chair here and I can just kick back and relax and chill out to some tunes. I mentioned that 2 of my CD racks I no longer have, because one of them got damaged in the move and the other one I decided to get rid of, and I replaced it with this. This is the famous Billy bookcase from IKEA, and it kind of replaces the 2 CD racks, because it's sort of double the size. And further down towards the bottom, it's all at the moment a little bit of a mess. I have no idea what order anything's in, so if I ever needed to find anything down there, I'm absolutely snookered, to be honest. But up at the top, I've got it fairly organised here. So as I always do, I always start top left-hand corner. It's Beatles first. They take priority in the ordering. So I've got my original 1987 CDs up there, followed by sort of chronologically everything that came. So things like the Live at the BBC, the anthologies, Love Album, Let It Be Naked, 8 Days a Week, Live at the Hollywood Bowl album, that kind of thing. It then goes on to McCartney, so I've got all my sort of normal Paul McCartney CDs there. Hopefully they're in order. If you spot any errors in the ordering, let me know here and I'll give them a little move around. Moving down to the second row, that's nearly all McCartney again. Albums, singles, that kind of thing. And then we move on to Lennon, so I've got my John Lennon CDs there and a couple of Yoko CDs. That goes on into the next row, where we then go to George. George is next, along with Ringo. So that's kind of my Beatles section there. And then I've got sort of, what's next? We've got Paul Weller and the Jam album. So big fan of those. So he gets a priority place up there as well. We then move on to, well, this is a big row, isn't it? This is the Paul McCartney Archive Collection. So first of all, I've got the 1971 to 73 set that came out, the mother of all archive collections. That box is pretty much empty at the moment. It's got a few odds and sods in it, because you'll see that I've actually got Wildlife, Wings Over Europe and Red Rose Speedway on display. But come on, Paul, please cause me a storage issue. Make me put those inside the box they're supposed to be in, so that I can make some room for more. I would love to have to do that. But you'll see they're all there, all the archive collections. I've got them in chronological order of the albums rather than when they were released as archive collections. And then moving down to the next row, this is kind of, well, I've got a few odds and sods CDs, just general CDs in there, but I've also got just sort of things that I like, sort of mementos. So I've got a golf trophy that I won with my granddad years ago. I've got the cassettes and various things that Capitol Records have been very, very kind to send me over the last few months, with McCartney 3 Imagine, the dice bags, the little dice box, that kind of thing. And well, lots of people have showed theirs. I've sort of tried to not show mine so much, but the letter that I got from Yoko and Sean when they very kindly sent me the Plastic Ono Band box set a few months ago. So just sort of nice things to have on display there. And then moving down really, and like I say, it's just sort of general CDs and things that are in no particular order whatsoever, and I have no idea how I would find anything if I needed it. But that's a real good storage solution, is that Billy bookcase from IKEA. Okay, you might not be able to see me at the moment because I've turned all the lights off, I've closed the curtains, and let's have a look at how this is set up as a listening room for night time. First of all, let's just switch on my little light here. You can probably see me a little bit better now, especially if I shine it straight at me. So primarily this is set up as a listening room, and you'll see here the view that I have at night time when I put the little light on. There's LED strips at the back, which I was thinking of getting LED strips, but then the people who moved out of here, they actually left some behind, so I thought, well, I'll use those. So I put those on and I can kick back, put my feet up, and just sort of really enjoy this as a listening room. I've had to do a fair bit of decorating in here because the people who lived here before, this was their daughter's bedroom, so it was very much sort of a young girl's bedroom, so I've had to repaint it and just sort of make it suitable for what I need it for. But it's been an interesting balance of switching between, I needed this as a listening room and it's ideally set up for that, but it doesn't make it as easy to make videos, so I'm having to sort of come to terms with using it as a dual purpose room at the moment. The previous room was really easy to make videos in, but it was a rubbish listening room, and I'm kind of the other way around now, so I'm just getting used to that. But hopefully the videos that I've been making lately have sort of shown the room off okay, which was my intention. So that's my room. If I do any other major developments, I will share them with you, but I hope you've enjoyed that. Leave me any comments that you've got, and I will see you again very soon. Goodbye.